Half a day, and welcome to this week's edition of GCA Today. Now, we've been talking about construction and construction activities the last few weeks, and my special guest today is Mr. Mike Adey. He's actually the founder of M80's Office Systems. But we're going to go kind of segue to something a little more different because he's got a hobby, I guess, if you want to call it that, or a passion. With farming. And so we're going to be heading in that direction. So, Mike, first of all, thanks for joining me today, and let's talk about farming.
Well, first of all, let me just give you some briefs on M80. Okay. You know, some things have happened here in the past with M80 real recently, and we now have a actual carpentry shop, so we can do custom-made cabinetry. We do the kiosks for iron wine and spirits for the wines, and cost you less and those kind of things. So we've gotten into that. We also picked up a Star sealing and coating company, which seals and coats asphalt. So those are two new aspects that we've come out of M80 with. The company's growing and really busy, and I'm really very fortunate to have a good staff that takes care of that. So
and they're taking care of that for you.
They're taking care of that. And last year, 2015, we turned 20. That's 20 years old, and like I was telling you, when I started in 1995, I thought maybe we'd last 6 months. So here we are, 20 years later, and I'm a blessed.
That's a long 6 months.
Totally blessed person. I'll tell you, I could write a book about the trials and tribulations of going.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement for us. But in just to share quickly why farming is such a passion. My grandfather farmed 1,400 acres outside of Bakersfield, California. Mm-hmm. And as a kid, I would go there and we'd pick corn from the stalks and eat it raw right out of the cornfield. And I'd help him lay irrigation pipes, and we'd eat Johnson seedless grapes and sweet potatoes and all that stuff that he grew. And so I think there was farming in my body, but when I came to Guam, I had no intention. I never grown anything in my life, never. Except maybe those little seeds you put in the cups when you're in grade school and you grow beans.
Right.
But where we live in Jonia, Camp Weetech, which is named after PFC Weetech for World War II. Where I live was the barracks, the headquarters for the Marine Corps, and we dug up Coke bottles and all kinds of things, tent cups and all that.
And that's how you came to Guam, first of all, right?
I came
to military.
No, I came to Guam.
Oh, really?
to run a company called Phillips and Ober, electrical wholesale company out of San Francisco, which is where I was from. And it came out for a 2-year contract, and I figured I'd just come out here and get some sunshine and go home. Well, I ran into this beautiful young lady. I was windsurfing up and down Tumon, and you probably are familiar with a place called the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
And there I was windsurfing. There was this beautiful brown-skinned lady laying there, and she is now my wife of 28 years. So that's the reason why I stayed in Guam. Plus the beautiful people in the warm weather.
Never looked back ever
Never
since.
looked back. No, okay. Never had any intentions of leaving. This is my home. I still love the Bay Area, don't get me wrong. I'm an old Grateful Dead hippie from Haight-Ashbury, displaced to Guam. But the farming thing got into my system because of my Uncle Manny Cruz, who's my godfather, and his family owned all that land where we are, and they were nice enough to subdivide it and sell it to all the nieces and nephews. So we ended up with a fairly good size of it, which we had to buy, of course, and as I would pull out a tangan, I'd put a tree in, and I'd pull out another tangan, and I'd put in a fruit. Now I've got 320 by 100, mix and match of all kinds of stuff. So what I tell people, if you want to see what not to do on a farm, come to my farm, because I just threw stuff out there. There's no real semblance. Then when I started, another cousin gave me another plot to grow on. That I've kind of planted where I know what I'm doing.
A little more organized.
Yeah, but the lady came from our farm to the table the other day, and she called it agroforestry, because I have lots of trees, but underneath the blanket of the trees are the papayas and the doni and all those other things. So I grow multiple products in one certain area. So I have lemons, limes, tangerines, calamansi, manzana, potaki, 200 bananas, 100 papayas, goes on and on and on. And we just grew a whole 150 by 50 of pumpkins. And we ate pumpkin tips till they were coming out of our ears. All my aunties hadn't had pumpkin tips in years. And we were harvesting 5 pounds at a time, big basket bags. So
you were showing me earlier a picture of your bananas.
And the bananas we have.
You guys steroids on them.
Oh, I'll tell you, the bananas are so good. And the story, we were sitting in the garage the other day, Branda we call it, and Jojo Santo Tomas, my party, also was there doing the story. It'll come out probably in PDN on family farming, which is what my wife and I call what we're doing.
Right.
My son's sitting there eating one of our bananas we just harvested, and he said, "Man, this banana tastes like ice cream." And Jojo says, "That's because it's an ice cream banana." So we have the ice cream bananas that we got. These are starters that I got from agriculture.
Yeah.
And today on the way in here, I was on the radio with Jess Borja and Roland keep go on, all those guys, they're on K57
Right.
talking about farming, and that's why I'm so stoked on it, because it's really working. This program that we did for veterans to try to help veterans with PTSD, which is a terrible feeling where you feel useless, you don't feel like you have anything to offer the world. Well, give them a piece of land. We got lots of land in Guam, subdivided. Give them a half acre and say, here, go do something.
Yeah.
If you can get them out, get them doing things with their hands, get out from behind the doors, you know, and sit and, you know, soaking up your sorrows, taking all those meds to mask. You're masking the disease. You're not treating it. You're masking it. So get them out where they can do something with their hand. Provide fruit for their family to walk, to be able to say, here, I grew this with my own hands.
And that's a form of therapy, actually.
Total form. And then you get past this medication stuff and start saying, let's find the real root of this, which is that, oh, what am I here for? I'm no good. I can't do it. Yeah, you can. Get out and do something. I'm old. I'm beat up, man. But I still get out there. I take 2 Advil and put on my knee braces. I'm all patched up, but I go out and I have
Things
fun.
that you plant other than tropical fruits and stuff like that, what really thrives on Guam?
Almost anything. We have a 365-day growing cycle.
Wow.
And we import 90% of our produce. Shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful. Now, I look people in the eye and I say, what are you going to do when the containers quit coming?
Yeah.
What happened?
You got to grow your own.
Middle of the year, we had a vessel that didn't come in. We had 2 storms, and we had a dock strike. We didn't have any containers for 3 weeks.
Right.
There was nothing on the shelves. Grocery store. We have about 10 days till we run out of food on Guam.
10 days.
Yeah. After the containers quit coming. So if something happens in the world and it all gets disrupted and our freight doesn't come in,
Are there enough farmers here in Guam to sustain
they're
everyday
starting
living?
to be, and we built that farmers co-op, so that encourages more people to
that's
farm.
good news, yeah.
But until we start looking reality in the face and say, hey, we used to survive on our own. What happened? Godmother and apple pie came in. You know, USA brought in Tide and all that other stuff, and we became.
Spam?
Well, when I first got here, somebody said GUAM stands for Give Us American Money. You know. So we got to change that attitude. What we got to do is become self-sufficient. I have a 300-gallon water catchment system on the side of my house that's fed by the roof. Simple to do. A container, PVC pipe, run it off of one of the downspouts, boom. You got water forever.
Yeah.
So people have got to start taking charge of their lives and say, listen, what if? I'm not saying doomsday and all that other stuff, but what I am saying is get prepared.
Yeah.
Don't sit around and go, well, don't worry, somebody will take care of it. No, they won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
I remember back in the day with my grandfather. I mean, he's not a farmer, but he raises chickens and he grows his own eggs and some small plants. And so, you know, those are...
That's what where my sister lives in Sonora, California. She lives on a 13-acre ranch. One of her neighbors grows chicken. The other neighbor has cattle and pigs and that stuff in slaughter. And she does all the vegetables and the canning. And they just barter back and forth, which is the way to do it, you know, to survive, because the world's not getting any better. And we are a little island in the middle of nowhere. And if we don't take it upon ourselves to become self-sufficient, more self-sufficient, we won't ever be totally self-sufficient, but at least to where we can survive if something happens, then we're in trouble. And I'm trying to make people aware of that, and also make people understand that you have a huge source of labor and people willing to work called veterans. But we've treated them so bad in the past. When I got out of the Army, people spit on us. They told us we were murderers.
Wow.
And for the first time ever, when I went to JFK, they had a set of something for all of us vets.
So I remember seeing something like that.
For the first time I've ever felt welcome as being.
Wow.
So it's really, so this is where I'm trying to go with this, is to motivate people to understand that you can be self-sufficient. We have the land. They say, oh, my land's all rocky and it's full of clay. Don't give me that. You go out and get 10 bricks, you build above the ground, and you put soil in that and grow out of that. Papayas will grow out of that much soil. They're a top plant. You can grow. We have basil, we have kale, we have all kinds of stuff that I'm propagating. Tomatoes you can hang from buckets and grow in your garage. You don't have to have big plots of soil to do all of this, but you can grow enough to have a stock of bananas a week in there for you. Or go out and harvest a bucket of cherry tomatoes to feed people. So my thing is trying to get people to become more self-sufficient and don't, well, they'll take care of us. Well, they won't.
I'd like to extend the show a little longer because it's quite some interesting stuff you're letting us know. And
I'm very passionate.
Yeah, you're talking about your business that you started back in 1995, and you're going into farming, and
it's just I can't tell you the pleasure when I see the momko, my 92-year-old auntie, and you give her a whole basket full of pumpkin chips, which she's never had. I mean, pumpkin chips are a rarity to get, and they're so delicious and healthy for you. And we had them, when we were harvesting them, we had pumpkin chips with corned beef, we had pumpkin chips with shrimp, we had kadu, we had chicken, we had pumpkin chips everywhere.
Yep. They
even put them in the tanaktak, you know, so, but it was so easy to grow. I took 6 pumpkin plants and put them in the ground and walked away.
And that's what grew wild.
That's what happened.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Mike. Thank you very much. And
I hope
we have another show and talk more about the farming and helping veterans and this farm to table thing.
Farm to table,
yeah.
a winner, man, a winner, and this UOG thing for the veterans is really a winner.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Good seeing you.
Hey,
all right.
Anytime.
And we'll see you again on our next episode of GCA Today.
Adios.
Thank you. Adios.